Now let's start. The poem The Road Not Taken. It is written by Robert Frost. This well known poem is about making choices and the choices that shape us. Robert Frost is an American poet who writes simply but insightfully, means with inner sight, with depth about common, quite ordinary experiences. Yes, in the nutshell, the poem is about choices. The road should be taken as a metaphor. Road is not simple road, rather it is opportunity. It is about choices because in our life we have different choices. Now the poem starts. First stanza. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both. Yes, the poet is saying two roads were divided in a yellow wood. Yellow wood stands for jungle, and the poet feels sorry. At that time, in the past, he felt sorrowful because he was unable to travel both of the roads at one time, as he was one traveler. So he stood there for a long time, checking till his vision went. As far as I could means till he could watch. Ultimately, he had to leave because after that the road was bending in the undergrowth, means there was wild vegetation. So he couldn't check after that. So he was helpless. Yes, now the rhyme scheme of the poem is A B A B. Yes, now second stanza. Then took the other. Took the other. The other stands for the second road, just as fair. Because he had to check both, he started checking the second road. It was looking also good like the first one. But he thought, means according to the poet, perhaps it had better challenge. Yes, now points are given because he felt that it was full of grass and it wanted wear. It wanted to be worn out, means it wanted to be used by the persons. Though from the passing place, it was almost same, means still there many persons may have walked. Now, third stanza, and both that morning equally lay, means both. Both stands for two roads. Two roads were looking almost same in the morning because no person had turned the leaves into black, because no one had trodden over them. Trodden means no person had walked over them. So, oh means again he has to leave one wish unfulfilled. That's why exclamatory word is used. He had to keep the first, means he had to leave the first road because he thought that he would take the first road some other time in his life, though he was very clear that one cannot turn back because one way leads on to many ways. That's why he became doubtful whether he would ever come back, whether he would be able to come back on the same path again. Now, next stanza, I shall be telling this with a sigh, means the poet is saying because he took the second road and he couldn't take the first road. So he just feels that in future he will be telling to the next generation with one sigh. Sigh every time has two meanings, means cool breath, because sometimes of relief, sometimes of one desire that cannot be fulfilled. But one thing is for sure that the poet wanted to say at that time, that he would be telling to the next generation with quite special desire that once upon a time two roads were divided in a forest, and he hesitated because he took pause. It was not randomly taken, rather he thought for a long time, and he took the second road that was less traveled by. means that was not traveled by most of the fellows, but it was taken by very few fellows. Because of that rare choice, he became somewhat different man. Yes, this poem has a nice message that in our life we have many choices. So we should never be confused. Rather, we should take one choice and be stick to that. And every time to be successful, we have to stop somewhere, decide one goal, and work upon that. In this poem, there are important two poetic devices. First is metaphor, very important, that is road. Road is taken as metaphor. Now, second is repetition, that is somewhere ages and ages hence. Now, one more that is called alliteration, like wanted where, that is used for the second road. Now, thinking about the poem. First question, where does the traveler find himself? The traveler finds himself totally confused because the road was diverted into two points. First means two roads were in front of the poet to be taken. That's why he faced one problem. Being one traveler, he was confused to take one, and he took a lot of time to meditate over that, and he chose the second one because it was somewhat more challenging, wanted to be used. Now, second, discuss what these phrases mean to you. Yes, a yellow wood stands for jungle. It was grassy and wanted wear means the second road was full of grass and wanted to be used means it was not explored by many fellows. The passing there, that is the passing place, means entrance point. Fourth, leaves no steps had trodden back means there was no trace of travelers. That's why leaves were not in black color. Fourth, fifth point, how way leads on to way. Yes, it means that one point or one path may lead to many other paths. Is there any difference between the two roads? Yes, there is a great difference in stanzas 2 and 3. Yes, in stanzas 2 and 3, there is a great difference because in the second stanza, the poet feels that both of the roads were equally same. But ultimately, he finds that there is a great difference because second road was grassy and wanted wear. That's why he wanted to take that. In the last two lines of the poet feels that he has to take the less traveled road. That was the second one, more challenging for him. Now, fourth question, what do you think the last two lines of the poem mean? Yes, the last two lines of the poem, I think the poet wants to say that whatever he has chosen, he would be quite satisfied to tell the next generation because of his choice. He took the second and became totally different personality. Now, second part. First question, have you ever had to make a difficult choice? Yes, it is quite value-based question and quite personal. How will you make the choice? Yes, I think your answer every time should be, we all have to face this condition in our life, not one time, every day, at every moment, we have many choices. We have to take one. But sometimes making a choice is difficult. It is not every time like simple choice for breakfast what we should take. But if we are making one choice, one thing should be in our mind. Whatever we choose, it has a long lasting effect in our life. Simple example, if we choose one nice thing to take in our breakfast, it will really affect our full day. Likewise, if we make a nice choice, sometimes it may be very difficult. It can be a very struggling for us to make one difficult choice. But we should be very nice with our approach according to our capacity, according to our ability, according to our wish, according to our real nature. We should make one choice. We should never be fearful of peer pressure because it is our life, it is for once. So our choice really makes our life. Now, second question, after you have made a choice, do you always think about what might have been, or do you accept the reality? Yes, it is again personal question, but I think your answer should be, if we have made one choice once in our life, then we should be very, very accurate in following that only, because there are no back gears in our life. We cannot go back. So we should try to accept the reality. Yes, for temporary phase, we may be very regretful, but we should let it go after some seconds, some minutes we can take. Then we should try to accept whatever we have taken, because top is every time empty. We should believe in that. We should work every time on our chosen path. And we should be confident to accept the real case, our mentality. According to that, we should work on and on. It is for sure we would be successful if we don't have any fear of being lost in our life.